All right, welcome back to You Special. We are here at the Asian College of Journalism and we're discussing the media with the future media professionals and journalists. Now, the last segment we have discussed, in a very broad manner about how media is today. Now, so one point which was raised is that media, first of all, credible enough to point a finger at someone else and, do whatever they do. So, what do you have to say about that?
I actually was about the credibility of the media. I don't think it actually exists. I mean, the fact that there's so many channels actually contriving facts and portraying it to the public, the fact that they're actually making up scandalous as sleazy details as they can about the show, I think the media has pretty much lost the credibility.
Okay, someone else who has a counter opinion or a different opinion on this matter, on the credibility of media, you think the media does not. See, someone here told me that the media has the right. One of you guys tell me, if the media does not have the credibility, then how do you think they have the right or the duty to take on matters? One of you guys, you told me, right? Yeah. What do you think about that?
No, I want to say we have to come and put our faith in some place. If we cannot put it into any other places of society, any other forms of governance, then where do we go? Like somewhere we have to keep our faith. So let's start off with the media. At least there are problems in each and every forms. Even like whatever you take, there will be potholes, there will be loopholes and everything. Okay, so you have to start
in that case,
keeping in faith with
why not place your faith in the governance system?
Because that's definitely not working. We can see it's very difficult to keep, because government, like the judiciary and all, they are starting off with a case again only if the media takes it up. There are other cases of injustice also, which I agree media does not take up. They take up very specific cases and they
we'll get to that later. But the interesting point you made, that you're willing to place your faith in the media to the extent, but not so much in the governance system, in the judiciary, in the legal system of the country. Now, I find that as a sad representation of what the country is. I mean, we can't blame you for saying that, but then, yeah, there are many other people who agree that we can place our faith in the media. We'll probably call the media first if you have a problem, but not call up the corporation fellow or the guy who's actually has the right and the duty to fix that problem. Someone who thinks this is interesting and, who can tell me what is responsible for, who's responsible for a situation like this?
Well, actually, I guess it's quite a dangerous trend to idealize the media so much, because at the end of the day, all we should do is just see it as a medium which is conveying information and nothing more. So I guess it has the right, not the responsibility or the duty definitely. It has the right to take up issues, and how we receive it after it is completely up to us. So, and I guess giving too much political importance to the media or thinking that a series of demonstrations organized after a problem or incidents of such kind which are mobilized by the media can actually make a difference is quite a big, it's a big fallacy. I don't think that works. So, yeah.
Okay. Anyone? Yeah. 1 minute. Yes.
Well, the point is that with rights come duties, and the media basically has the duty of self-regulation.
With power comes responsibility, the great Spider-Man dialogue.
So the media has the duty of self-regulation, and the reason people opt for the media as a recourse for justice or for other things is because they can see the action taken within a short span. It's accountable, as in the moment you have it on air, you do get retribution.
Right.
For
probably one issue, one case which is a classic example of how media can go entirely wrong is probably the Arushi Talwar case. Yeah. All of us know about that. Now let's discuss the case a bit. Now, how many of you think, is there anyone who thinks that the media is not probably as much to be held guilty as it should be? I would think that the media did go overboard with this issue, with this case. But is there anyone here who thinks no, the media did its job? Someone who thinks, yeah.
Although media sensationalized the issue a bit too much to grab eyeballs, I also feel that the Noida police also bungled up the investigation. They did not, even the CBI could not find clues, and the evidences were, they were not able to, they ineptly handled the case. So I think even the police was not actually doing its job properly.
Okay, but do you think, can you put the blame on the police and the CID and say the media also went wrong because the CID went wrong?
I think the Arushi case was a perfect example of how the media makes a brand example of certain cases like Ruchika and Arushi. And just because we know we have a sensational case, every day there has to be a news bite on that, and even if there is no important newsworthy element on that day, there has to be a segment devoted to that. So in that case, when you have nothing new, but you have to show a certain amount of airtime to that segment, you end up just guessing in the shooting in the dark and come up with your own conjectures about how this thing happened.
Okay, now how many of you here are broadcast students? Broadcasting medium. Okay, you tell me, if you were in the newsroom when the Arushi Talwar case happened, what would you have done? Or if you were the person who was responsible to give the kind of treatment it is required by your channel, what would you have done?
Um, well, that's okay. Personally, just going back to what Viksha also said about the loopholes with the police investigation, and with regard to what you're asking, I think it's like a combination, because the media was allowed to go in without like any restrictions, and a lot of evidence and a lot of important clues and facts about the case that could have actually got out the truth were lost in that process. So I don't know how exactly we could have.
Okay,
I mean,
forget the broader perspective. The fact that Rajesh Talwar was virtually made the culprit, and later it was proved that he was
wasn't,
not
yeah.
responsible for that.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think that the bringing the whole family into light. I think someone mentioned over there about first naming the accused and then going the reverse process. I think this is an example of that. Yes, we have the right to give information, and we should feel responsible enough to do it. But at what cost is a matter that needs to be given a thought, because all said and done, Rajesh Talwar was Arushi's father. So before you make such a statement about that, you should have some kind of humanitarian thoughts running behind your statement.
Right, a strong statement coming there that the media should have considered a bit before blaming Rajesh Talwar to that extent. Now, the next point being cases like Ruchika Girhotra, where it was very clear that Rathore was, a person who was responsible but got away with just 6 months in jail after 19 years. Now, which was the main aspect of what media did, which do you think worked for the benefit of the victim here? What do you think the media did right in this case? Someone? Yeah.
I think it's pretty much the same approach as used in any other media campaign or slash trial, because the method that they employ is simply to play upon the primal instincts of people. So in this case, where the media stand, when the media's position is vindicated, so here we can be liberal enough and term that as a successful media campaign. And the previous Arushi case, we can term that as media trial by media. So I think it's pretty much the same approach everywhere, where the accused is first brought to light.
Okay, but do you agree that because there are some cases where it works out, because there are some cases where the people who get away with otherwise are brought to justice, we can afford to have cases where justice is not done by the media as well. For example, at the cost of a Jessica Lal, a Priyadarshini Mattu, at the cost of a Rathore case, we can afford to have one Arushi Talwar. What do you think about that?
So I feel that, just as one of our friends pointed out, that the government has vested interest, and hence we should not place our trust in them. Similarly, the welfare of the media does not necessarily lie in the welfare of the people. They too have vested interest, and they'll function according to that.
All right.
So in that scenario, I think media will play according to its needs, which might not necessarily benefit us.
All right. Okay, we'll take a break at this point, and we will get back to discuss more about the media at the Asian College of Journalism. Keep watching U Special.